Hello, this tutorial is for the corner to corner, sometimes known as c2c stitch, which is mainly used to make blankets. The one that I'm showing here has been done with double knitting, and it's been done with 2 rows in each colour to give the stripe. You can work this design in as many colours or as few if you just want to do it with the one shade. That's perfectly fine. I'm using a 5mm hook and I shall be working with double knitting yarn. We start off with a chain 6, so slip knot and 6 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now in the 4th chain from the hook we're going to do a double crochet. So yarn over, pull through a loop, yarn over, through 2, yarn over, through 2. Into the next chain we do another double crochet. So yarn over 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then a final double crochet in the last of the chains. Oops, missed that one. Pull up a loop, through 2, through 2. That's the first block complete. We now, every row is exactly the same, it's just that there's more blocks each time. So 6 chain again, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and again in the 4th chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to do a double crochet. The 3 chains are counting as the last stitch on each block, or the first stitch. Into the next chain we work another double crochet, and again into the final of the 6th chain we do a double crochet. You then flip over the first block and into the 3 chain space, into the first 3 chains, into the space between the chains and the first stitch, we're going to catch with a slip stitch. And again the first stitch is going to be the 3 chains, which counts as a double crochet. Into the same space, going to work 3 more double crochets. And 3. So we've now got the first corner is complete. Again we start with 6 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 4th chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to work 1 double crochet, and then 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 chains. There's 1 and 2. Flip over, and again you can see the 3 chains here. We slip stitch into that space. Work 3 chain and 3 double crochets into the same space. Again slip stitch into the final 3 chain space and work 3 chains followed by 3 double crochets. Row 4, again start with your 6 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4th chain from the hook, 1 double crochet and 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 chains. Slip stitch into the 3 chain space from the previous row, 3 chains followed by 3 double crochets. Slip stitch into the chain space, 3 chain and 3 double crochets. Slip stitch into the last 3 chain space, work 3 chain, and we've got 1, 2 and 3. So as we've come to the end of the row 4, I'm going to now change colour to just show you how it's done. So we'll snip off the yarn, pull the loop through and fasten off. To start with the next shade, we'll just attach with a slip knot the next yarn, slip stitch into the top of the last stitch worked from the previous row, and we're ready to start again with the 6th chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pop some white paper just under so that you can actually see, because the blue's a little bit similar to the colour of the table. And again, 6 chains in the 4th chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to do 1 double followed by a double in each of the next 2 chains. Flip over and we'll slip stitch again into the 3rd chain from the previous row. So 3 chains followed by 3 double crochets. You carry on exactly the same for each row that you do until you get to the desired width of the blanket or throw that you want to make. Once you've got to the desired width, you will then start to decrease. So I'll show you that at the end of this row. One, 2 and 3. Oops. Slip stitch into the space, 3 chain and 3 double crochets. Slip stitch into the last 3 chain space and work 3 chain and 3 double crochets. Now, instead of working the 6th chain as you would do if you were carrying on for the width, We then turn over and slip stitch into each of the stitches just worked and into the chain space, and from here we'll just start with the 3 chain and the 3 double crochets. And this will actually square off the design. Again, 3 chain and 3 double crochets. Slip stitch into the 3 chain space, work 3 chain and 3 double crochets. Slip stitch into the chain space, 3 chain and 3 double crochet. Slip stitch again into that final chain space, turn over, and again we're going to slip stitch along the 3 stitches and into the chain space for the decrease, and then again 3 chain and the 3 doubles. A good indication of how, if you've just got yarn that you're wanting to use for this design, a good idea is to weigh the yarn and then have the amount that you've got, work increasing until you get to the half weight of the yarn and then start to decrease. I would allow a little bit of extra yardage on the yarn just in case, but you'll find that then you're going to know roughly where you're going to start to decrease. On this design I usually add a border. I'll do a tutorial on borders in the future, but it's entirely up to you. I think it works quite well with a border or without. Three double crochets, and slip stitch into that final stitch. Again, slip stitch along to the 3 chain space, where you'll do the 3 chains again, followed by 3 double crochets. Slip stitch, turn over, slip stitch into the last 3 chain space, and you'll work the final block, which again is 3 chain and 3 double crochets. I've just kept this piece quite small just to show the increase rows and the decrease rows. There we go, nice and simple. If you've enjoyed this tutorial, please subscribe and hope to see you again soon. Bye!